Justin Upton mashes the baseball here at Chase Field. Ryan Roberts has been hitting all year long. He has as many home runs as the aforementioned Justin Upton. Padres and Diamondbacks, glad to have you with us, and it's good to be back home. Hi there, folks. Welcome back to the ballpark. You know him by now. This is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton, and we trust to this point, early in the week, that your week has been a good one. Let's talk about the Diamondbacks, because pitching has been very, very good. Armando Galarraga looks to hold serve with what has been a good group of starting pitching and really bullpen as well.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Nobody expected the bullpen to be better than anybody in baseball in the month of May. But yes, it is happening as we speak, folks. And the starters have jumped right in as well. You've seen Ian Kennedy be dominant. It's good to see Daniel Hudson start to dominate again. Now it's starting to get into a little groove. Now a little friendly competition amongst those starters. Galarraga tonight has to take the baseball, keep the ball down, and try to duplicate what Ian Kennedy and Josh Coleman did in Los Angeles.
Quick follow-up on Galarraga. When he pitched so well in Chicago early in the year, he had great command of his slider. Do you look for more sliders? Can that make a difference in keeping the ball down in this park?
First and foremost, he has a very good slider. We've seen him have a very good slider. The only problem Galarraga has right now is the location with his slider. He's going way too far outside on the right-handed hitter. He's got to get that slider back closer to the zone, and he'll get some swings and misses. It's a good slider, Darren, but when it's 3 feet outside, it's not going to get swung at.
When the Diamondbacks were in Petco Park, everyone talked about the Padres never hitting again. Guess what? They're hitting. They're hitting with regularity. Some guys that have hit before are pitching in. Guys like Hoff and Maben, they're starting to crush the baseball.
Well, I had the same experiences when I played in Chicago, Darren. It was always cold and miserable and rainy and tough to hit in Chicago. So we always look forward to going on the road. Boy, let's go on the road where it might be warm, where we might get a playing surface that's AstroTurf and a little quicker infields and whatnot. Well, the Padres, they're starting to feast on the road, and it's carrying over his home as well.
Cameron Maben is a star in the making, quite possibly, isn't he?
I think he's already there. He's a guy that can hurt you in so many ways. He's got great speed. He's got great power. He is a terrific outfielder. We saw him in San Diego rob the Diamondbacks more than once. So Cameron Maben is certainly a star on the baseball field.
We're certainly glad to be back home. Glad to have all of you with us. Look forward to seeing you at Chase Field. 3 teams come to town. It's the San Diego Padres, the Atlanta Braves, then the Minnesota Twins. We've got to keep talking pitching, though, because the bullpen has been spectacular. The true story for the Arizona Diamondbacks has been in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. When we come back, Brad will join us and tackle that subject.
Tonight, the game one against the San Diego Padres. Welcome back to D-backs Baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. You know, last season, no lead was safe for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Their bullpen was not very good. In fact, it was the worst in all of Major League Baseball. But this year, it has been a much different story, especially during the month of May. The D-backs bullpen has been lights out. 0.25 ERA, 5 straight games of scoreless baseball. And even though it ends with closer Jay Puts, it also sort of starts with him as well. He has been a real veteran presence, really setting the tone, and now the roles are becoming more and more defined. I talked with pitching coach Charles Nagy about that topic.
When you know what your role is and how the game flows, and you kind of get a sense on when you need to get ready, and mentally, I mean, that's the biggest part of it. It's mentally getting ready for, hey, I might get in here, and then you get at the ball, and the phone rings, and you're ready to go instead of being surprised by something. It's just, and it's worked out well so far. We've worked into the roles, and everything's been going good.
That was our Geico quote of the game, and he also says now the starters are going deeper into the game. That certainly helps out as well. But stay with us. Game one of this 2-game series against the San Diego Padres headed your way next on Fox Sports Arizona. It is good to have the D-backs back home. Baseball in just a bit.
Takes the rock. He gets ready to roll as we head out onto the bump with the Venezuelan native, the right-hander. Crossing paths with Joe West, who is out there, part of the umpiring crew. Here at Chase Field, the San Diego Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Chris Denorfia to lead it off. Jason Bartlett bats second. Chase Headley bats third for these suddenly hitting Padres. These swinging Friars, if you will, as they used to call the Padres when they did hit. Back in the brown and gold uniforms. The infield of Mora, Drew, Robertson, Nady ready to go. We're glad to have you with us as Galarraga rocks and fires, and we are underway as that one misses high and in. 1-0 the count to Chris Denorfia. In for Will Venable, who was a late scratch at the top of the order. Over the outside corner. 1-1 the count to get things going. And he can hit Denorfia. He can play just about anywhere on the field. As that one dives down and away, a slider. 2-1 the count. Two and one the count. That one is low. The knees called a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Denorfia. The 2-2. There's a slider right through the 5-hole to the backstop. His battery mate tonight for Galarraga is Henry Blanco, working behind home plate. Denorfia with 60 at-bats, 21 hits. Blanco with some good offensive work on this last road trip. That is rolled and on across in time for the out. Let's take a look at the numbers for Armando Galarraga. 7 starts, 3-3 with a 5.50 ERA. Of course, the alarming number is the home runs.
And that's a good sign right there. He gets Denorfia on just a routine ground ball. When he's right, you're going to see the infielders busy. But when he gets the ball up in the zone, it's been going a long, long ways here in 2011.
Of the balls that go in the air against Galarraga, 2 out of every 10 of his fly balls go over the wall.
Oof.
That's an alarming total as that one goes to the backstop. The league average pitcher is below 1 out of every 10. So he is about 2 to 3 times the average pitcher of fly balls. 29 years old, out of Cumana in Venezuela. Signed
Very well said.
I'm trying, I'm learning. Signed with Montreal as a free agent to begin his career. Jason Bartlett fights it off into right field. And Bartlett with an aggressive turn. That gives Bartlett an 8-game hitting streak. They're all hitting. Let's take a look at the lineup of the San Diego Padres. Headley is behind. Said he loves hitting in this ballpark. Brad Hoff coming back to where he wants to be. Cameron Maybert and Ryan Ludwig, 7 for his last 17. Kyle Phillips behind the plate. He's hot too. So is Alberto Gonzalez and Clayton Richard. A pitcher and a pitching coach. A very successful manager. As a matter of fact, the reigning National League Manager of the Year, Bud Black. As that one sails outside to Chase Headley.
What a year these Padres had. Took to game number 162 up in San Francisco last year to finally eliminate these pesky Pods.
Headley loads that back leg and takes a pitch that dives down and away. 2-0 the count to Chase. Chase on this recent road trip for these San Diego Padres that has taken them to, and now Colorado is 6 of 20, so he's hitting. Walked a couple of times on the trip as well. Said he may have been the benefit of some pretty close calls when he faced Galarraga in San Diego. 2-1 the count.
Good placement on the fastball there from Galarraga. On the outside corner, Headley could do nothing with it.
You know, that team last year you spoke of, that great finish in San Diego. Chase Headley was saying before the game they had a lot of unselfish offensive players to go along with all the great pitching. And I think we'll be able to expound on that throughout the game.
I think what he's trying to say is if you put yourself before the rest of these guys, you're going to be very disappointed hitting in Petco Park. If you play team offense, that means productive outs. That means getting bunts down, winning low-scoring games. Well, with their pitching staff, you're going to win plenty of ball games if you score 4 runs or more.
A long pause for Galarraga, and then Headley's tired of waiting.
And also, if you're up, if you go into Petco Park and you have to play 81 games there, Darren, and you're thinking you're going to hit your 30, 35 home runs, you got another thing coming. Now that's a refreshing take there by Headley.
Lifted, beaten with the fastball, but is there room? It's about 5 rows back. Let's take a look at the Arizona Diamondbacks defensively. David Robleski and Associates with Parra, Young, Upton in the outfield. Mora, Drew, Roberts with Johnson sitting, and Nady is who's on first today with Henry Blanco catching Armando Galarraga. But Xavier Nady had a nice road trip and is starting to drive some runs in. As a matter of fact, how about this quick note? More RBIs than anyone else on the trip for the Diamondbacks.
He was not an everyday player.
High fly ball, well struck in the left center field. Chris Young goes back. It nearly gets out of here. Right below the wall. Hoffman will stop the runner at third, and Headley enjoys this ballpark, and he backs it up in his first at bat.
Not sure what the pitch was, but it was something right down the middle and about thigh high, and Chase Headley drills it. Just a straight fastball right down Broadway. Probably not something Galarraga was looking to do 2-2 when he had him set up, but right off the middle of the wall, about 413 feet away, and the Padres come out smoking.
Now, again, you can talk about the way things swing here at home for the Diamondbacks and their pitchers. But when you talk about this one part of the ballpark where that ball went 413, not many bigger spots. That is a long, long ways away in that alley he hit that ball. You could actually say that would be a homer in some other parks.
In most other parks.
Hop swings over the top. That may have been a changeup. That may have been, as you see the 413 mark. And we'll keep our eye for that pitch.
Because there's not a whole lot off the fastball with that changeup. It's only about, anywhere from 3 to 5 miles an hour off of it.
He doesn't throw many.
He threw a good one there, though.
I think he's got to. I think he's got to throw a few, even if it's 5, 10. That one sails inside. And the pitch is thrown. You can see it's mainly fastball slider. And those are very close in velocity.
You can see everything about the same speed.
And we've learned a lot about that with a guy like Josh Colmenter, let's say, who is 10 to 11 miles difference on Saturday.
Right.
Fastball, changeup. And you called the game as an analyst. He didn't even throw that many changeups.
He threw mostly fastballs and just went right through the Dodgers, but he still threw enough changeups to put it in the back of the minds of those.
Brad Hall takes outside, pickoff throw, nothing doing. Scampering back is Bartlett. Now Hopp, we talked about Bartlett. He now has an 8-game hitting streak. Hopp's in the middle of one too, and it's a real one. Just 236 looks pretty meager and mild, doesn't it? Well, in his 6-game hitting streak, he's 10 of 20.
Golly.
We've seen this guy hit before. Remember Colorado, folks?
He used to kill Brandon Webb. Not many guys can say that.
He takes inside. 3-1 the count. There's that hitting streak. I mean, that's a streak. That's a good week. Arizona with 30 first-inning runs allowed. And it's been a bugaboo, certainly, the Bermuda Triangle. Trying to avoid it here. Outside, that's ball 4. The other part of the story against the San Diego Padres for Galarraga in his outing back 10 days ago is that he walked 6 in that ballpark.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done. And certainly it's not going to get it done anywhere, but you've always got to make your opponents hit their way on. That one there might just have been a pitch around there to try to maybe set up a double play ball. I'm not sure. Because after he got ahead 0-1, he missed pretty badly with the next 4.
Here is Cameron Maben hitting 272, 13 batted in. The bases are full of San Diego Padres. Bouncing ball to the hole into left field. It's a base hit. They're going to stop the runner at third as Parra is up with it. Just one hops it into the cutoff man, and it gets on by to Henry Blanco. So the Padres strike first. Maben, key to him there, he didn't try to do too much.
That's just terrific hitting by a young man with runners in scoring position. Like you said, Darren, don't try to do too much. Just put a nice crisp swing on it, base hit to left, and keep the line moving. Very well done.
Maben, he's got 12 hits in his last 23 at-bats. That's basically what we'll pass along initially for the San Diego Padres. Then we'll get to know more about them. You will see low numbers on their season graphics, and you will hear of good week to 10 days for all of them. Swing and a miss. There's a slider to Ryan Ludwig. 0-1 the count.
See, that's the pitch there we talked about coming on the air there. That's the pitch he'll get swings and misses on, the sliders that stay in the zone. But a lot of his sliders have been bouncing in the left-hander's batter's box, and you're not going to get swings and misses on those. You're just going to get wild pitches. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So the key is start it in the line of sight where it's tantalizing.
That's exactly right. And then you'll get swings. But when it starts, like I said, in the other batter's box, hitter's not even going to approach that.
And if you are to bounce one now, a pretty good man behind the plate who's got to block it up, though. 0-2 the count, Ludwig. Outside. He went way out there.
And I think that's what he was trying to do there. But that was what I've seen in the last couple of starts for Galarraga. He's got a good slider, but when you're throwing him way over there like that, well, you're really wasting your time.
Base is still full of Padres, just one out. These Padres in their last 5 games have been a different breed offensively. Beat him in with a fastball. How shallow will it stay? Look at Parra trying to help out. Comes across. They nearly collide. Young's throw is not in time.
Oh, boy. Parra wanted it because he's got a much, much better throwing arm than Chris Young. I don't even think Headley was going until he saw the contact between the two outfielders. Parra knows he's got a much, much better arm. Chris Young doesn't get out of the way. He catches it. Chris Young doesn't throw very well. And because of that now, after the contact and then the lesser throwing arm, Chris Young's got to know ahead of time to go ahead and back off and let the better arm in Parra make that play. Good base running there by Headley, seeing the contact and just taking off.
I'm just curious if he actually touched the plate ever.
I still don't think he has.
As that one is, because Blanco, old school, who said he's learned to catch from Mike Scioscia when he was a young man, didn't completely block it, but
He may have got his hand on there.
I don't know. Good for Henry Blanco doing what he can. But he beat the throw clearly. I think Blanco kept it from ever truly touching home plate. 0-1 the count, Kyle Phillips. He takes a pitch up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. That was a changeup. Fluttered out of the zone, never got there.
Yep, he got his hand in there.
Yeah, he did. You're exactly right. Boy, great angle. I'm glad you
Joe
called.
West would never miss a call down there. Our buddy Joe West, you know that, Darren.
I'm glad you called for Foxborough. Phillips, high pop. Roberts back, up and in. Justin puts it away, but the Padres, they strike first, scoring a pair. They lead it 2-0 for that man. Ready with the likes of Chris Young, Melvin Mora, and Justin Upton. Young to lead it off against a big, tall drink of water, a left-hander, Indiana native, Clayton C. Richard, who makes his 9th start of the year. And the southpaw goes to work and right down Broadway. 0-1 the count to Chris Young. Young on the recent trip, 6 of 34. That's a 176 clip. Lines that one to left. How long will it hang up? Long enough for Ryan Ludwig to put it in that glove. So Young, tough break there right at him. Southwest Airlines presents the starting lineup. Melvin Mora, Justin Upton, Stephen Drew stays in the cleanup spot. Ryan Roberts homered yesterday, the best hitter with runners in scoring position in the lineup. It's Nady, Parra, Blanco, and Galarraga. As Melvin Mora takes a pitch high, 1-0.
Well, what a tough break for Chris Young. Just smoking one to start the homestand, but unfortunately just right at Ryan Ludwig in left field.
1-1 the count to Mora. Lines that one to center field. Right there to make the play.
What the heck is going on out here?
Well-struck baseballs, Young and Mora to left and to center. Defensively, it's Ludwig, Maben, Denorfia. Infield, Headley, Bartlett, Gonzalez, Hopp. Clayton Richard pitches to Kyle Phillips. Richard again making his 9th start of the year. Just one victory. 4.79 ERA. That is far higher than his ERA last year by a run. He had a good year last year. He was on the map last year, really recognized around the game as the left-hander that was acquired, the big piece that was acquired July of 09 in the Jake Peavy trade from the White Sox. You throw 200 innings, you win 14, you're on the map. Back to the screen, Upton.
He just jammed Upton with a fastball in right there to jump to 0-2.
Justin on the trip, 6 of 36. 167 clip. Had a double, had a homer, and struck out 6 times. One and two the count. Boy, didn't get there with the breaking ball. He'll throw a fastball, rarely, but some a curveball, then a cut fastball and a changeup. Popped it up. There's the changeup. He'll get some outs in the air with that one, won't he?
Well, he'll get some outs on the. He's got a very good changeup. He also works fast, throws a lot of strikes. He's a guy you love playing behind.
Third base side, tried to grab the outside corner. We told you about the fly balls for Galarraga that sail out. For Richard, a good percentage of his fly balls stay in the infield.
A lot of pop-ups, huh?
A lot of pop-ups in the infield. About twice the average pitcher. As that one is high, a changeup. Upton. It's a nice little walk there because those changeups right on the edge are tantalizing, I would imagine.
No, it's a good walk as well because he was down 0-2 and ended up working a walk out of Clayton Richards.
Yeah, maybe slowed the pace down a bit. Justin Upton here at home hits .314 with 10 extra base hits. On the road this year, unfortunately, hitting just .188. Steven, outside corner, Drew, 0-1 the count. A pair of long balls this year, 25 runs batted in. Slugging .445 along with that on-base percentage. Trying to hang in there against the left-handed pitcher. Just 2 games with San Diego, 2 games with Atlanta, and then 3 with the Minnesota Twins. Lifts that one in the left field. Diving play out there, Ryan Ludwig. What's some tough luck?
Keep hitting the ball hard, D-backs. What can you do?
coupon for huge savings. And by Porsche of North Scottsdale. Visit us at scottsdale.porschedealer.com. Right back to work, and Galarraga misses high to Alberto Gonzalez. 1-0 the count. 2-0, San Diego leads it. As that one misses outside, 2-0 the count. Alberto, he's 6 of his last 14. Picked up in a trade. A minor league pitcher was sent to Washington at the end of spring training. That's on the ground. Off the glove and booted out there by Ryan Roberts. It hit the pitcher's glove, it hit the second baseman's glove, and a runner reaches.
That'll go as an error on Ryan Roberts. Got an in-between hop, just couldn't come up with it.
So now the pitcher, Clayton Richard.
He's going to be asked to bunt. Does not have a hit this year.
The 12 career sacrifices. Hits the plate with that one, and it trickles on by, back behind home plate. 0-1 the count. Now Galarraga last time out pitched in San Francisco. It was a 4-3 loss. Armando went 5 1/3, gave up 4 runs through 96 pitches against the Giants. As that one misses wide, 1-1 the count. Tomorrow will be Daniel Hudson against Tim Stauffer. And then when the Braves come to town, Joe Saunders against Julio Teheran, the top prospect for the Atlanta Braves. And then Josh Colmenter, Jair Jurgens. That one is bunted foul. 1-2 the count. Trevor Hoffman's older brother, Glenn Hoffman, longtime baseball man in that third base coach's box. Dave Roberts, former speedster in that first base box. Roberts hit something like .430 in this park.
Most of it when I was playing first base. I held him on a lot.
That is strike 3, a slider, and an empty at bat there for Richard.
We'll get to the D-backs versus Twins series this weekend with the D-backs Pepsi Max Value Pack. For just $19, you get a lower level bleacher ticket, a regular size hot dog, a 24-ounce Pepsi, and a free 20-ounce bottle of Pepsi Max. It's available every game, so call now and get tickets for the D-backs Twins games this weekend.
Chris Denorfia back to the top of the order. That was a good read.
Well, it's not over.
Oh, there's more? Off the glove of Drew. And all the way to third, and into second goes Denorfia. So runners on second and third now, as a couple of balls just eat up Diamondbacks defensively.
Just going to the backhand, right off the wrist again. That's 2 balls now that have come up and taken a bite out of the middle infielder's wrists. And that's another error on the Diamondbacks, so second and third just 1 out thanks to a couple of miscues defensively.
I'll tell you, the one thing Arizona has done the last 3 weeks or so, 19 games, is they played defense. They've pitched, and the two have gone hand in hand. Their first 20 games, the Diamondbacks allowed 13 unearned runs. 13. The following 19, 3. That means pitchers pitched around errors when there were errors.
Yeah, you're catching the baseball for the most part.
That pitch is outside, 2-0 the count.
And when you've got a pitcher out there that's been struggling, the last thing you can do for a struggling pitcher is not catch the baseball, because then the confidence is going to wane, and then you're asking for it.
Bartlett, by the way, 7 for his last 11 with runners in scoring position. High drive, deep left field. Parra goes back. It's off the wall. 1 run is in. The throw is to second. The slide from Bartlett. He is in there with a double. 2-run score. And the San Diego Padres add on, and they lead it by a score of 4-0.
Nothing a defender can do on that one except watch it fly over his head. That was another fastball that just split the plate right down the middle. I mean, this is center cut right down the middle, and it is crushed. Bang! So yes, Armando Galarraga can take solace in the fact that he made some good pitches, but the balls were not caught behind him. But that ball was absolutely scalded off the bat of Jason Bartlett.
So now Chase Headley. Headley doubled off the wall in left center field, nearly knocked it out of here. The pitch misses outside, 1-0 the count. Galarraga trying to really show himself something, these fans something, baseball fans something. And on the road trip, unfortunately, he was the guy that got left behind a little bit when all pitched very effectively. He scuffled. And the thing that I think he will tell you is it was the walks. I walked too many guys in a place like San Diego. And then some hits would follow. And that one is nubbed into left center field. That is down. Hoffman says come on around to the plate. The throw from Parra. Over the head of the cutoff man. Sliding in safely is Headley. 5-0. San Diego. Chase Headley with RBI number 16 on the season. And the Padres continue to hit.
You are seeing some dismal defense now from the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2 miscues on the infield from Ryan Roberts. And then Stephen Drew, and now just no reason to miss the cutoff man there. I mean, there is no way he is going to throw out Bartlett at home plate. There's just get it into the cutoff man. I mean, Bartlett easily, of course, just come in, throw it to second base. But so now what you've done is you've taken the double play out of order and put another runner in scoring position.
Over the outside corner, 0-1 the count to Brad Hawpe. Hawpe walked back in the first inning. San Diego 8.6 runs per game in their last 5. Broke his back, ground ball to Roberts. In time for the out. Runner moves up to third, and a bit of a Bronx cheer here in Phoenix for the Diamondbacks defense. All right.
Kind of a tough way to start your homestand. Playing 2 very poor innings.
5-0 the score. Cameron Maben digs in. He singled in a run. In on the hands, good pitch. Mora fires it on a cross in time for the out. A sloppy inning defensively for the Diamondbacks as they cough up 3.
Bottom of the second, they need some offense in a hurry, and Ryan Roberts has typically been the guy to get things going. It was interesting. He missed those first 2 games of the Dodgers series with what he told me were flu-like symptoms. Went out to eat when the team got to town, and by the time he got back to his hotel room, just said he felt awful. He's feeling better, but not great. He has a friend who's a doctor in the L.A. area. Was hoping to get an IV, but the doctor was out of town. But nonetheless, played yesterday, had his 7th home run. So sick or healthy, Roberts continues to hit the ball well for this team. They need it.
Well, thank you, Brad. We appreciate that. I know we have some good stuff from Brad tonight on the West Coast trip. He dug into some interesting tidbits as that one is fouled off. Well, I know he's a friend who's a doctor, but we actually have a team doctor as well.
Trainers?
1-2 the count.
Kind of what they're paid to do.
5-0 the score. Roberts fights that one off. He leaned on one yesterday. The ball needed an IV.
Ball.
How about that home run rate? Right there, look at that.
He's right there with some big boys.
Your guy, Ryan Braun's on that list.
Big fan of his. Hey!
He's a big Ryan Roberts fan. Had a sign up earlier.
Tell you what, there's a lot of people that have become Ryan Roberts fans here in 2011. He's been terrific.
1-2 the count.
A lot of tattoos.
Shot foul past Matt Williams.
Matt Williams under the gun a little bit today.
Well, that's not a ball he should play without a glove.
No, you're not gonna go after that one. But he's got fences to mend. There's no question about it. After a terrible effort yesterday on a ball down the line.
That was a start, though, giving the little one a souvenir. That was a good thing. Robert spoils that one. We've asked you to email the booth on FoxSportsArizona.com, and we've been kind of digging through them. And it says, Robert, you're always talking about big league nicknames. How about the Railroad? RR for Ryan Roberts. It fits with how he plays, tough and hard. The 1-2. Hot shot, base hit, left field.
Oh, look at Railroad go ahead and just smack one into left field. I know you like that one, Darren, but I'm going to pass on it. I'm going to pass on Railroad.
You're going to pass?
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, we also, as we see this again, as that one is a shot in the left field, we have engaged all sorts of online access. We'd love for you to email the booth.
Railroad.
We'd also love for you to join us on the booth Twitter page, D-backs Booth on Twitter, and some folks have been jumping in, and I think I have the winner already early on. As that one is a strike. Well, I asked for a couple of things from our fans out there. Key to the game. Now, really need a key to the game, right?
Yeah, key to the game is start hitting.
And then also a nickname for Ryan Roberts, knowing that this was coming from our fine producer.
One was Railroad.
Our senior producer in charge in title only, Jason Lewis.
Title only.
That one is low to Xavier Nady. So we got this one, and it's pretty good. It's from Steel of Home. His name is Steel of Home. He says, key to the game, avoid the crocodile moat behind left field. That's the key to the game. And a nickname for Roberts, Sleepy Time. And he adds, you're welcome.
No. That's just awful.
You don't like that one? Sleepy Time.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. At least Railroad gave an explanation.
And then dropping your welcome.
That's my favorite part. Hammering balls right back off the glove. Wow, what a play. And a double play to boot. Ryan Roberts was eaten up on a similar manner an inning ago and sticking his nose in it, Alberto Gonzalez. That was fabulous. 1-4-3, double play.
That's a terrific play there by Alberto Gonzalez. Not an easy one either. Big double play right there for the Pods.
So now, Gerardo Parra. .257, a couple of homers, and 8 RBIs. Breaking ball is a strike.
Sleepy time.
Boy, the folks are weighing in. They love Railroad.
Do they?
Oh, they're starting to love it. Yep.
Well, I know you like that one.
That one is away. 1-1 the count to Parra.
Well,
I haven't
has
really...
it passed the Greg Schulte taste test? The governor's got to approve of all nicknames.
Well,
you
he
know
does.
that.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. The radio voice of the Diamondbacks, Greg Schulte, who coined such great nicknames as Kojak for Connor Jackson.
Man. One of my favorites.
Snide Piece for Chris Snyder when he used to play here. Qualsy for Chad Qualls. As that one is swung right through. And of course, what do you think so far? Railroad or Sleepy Time?
You're welcome.
Race game. Here's what you do. Stop by the Arizona Lottery kiosk outside the team shop to score a free D-backs game ticket and enter to win a Luis Gonzalez meet and greet when you purchase $10 worth of lottery tickets. Winners also have a chance to enter for the grand prize, a Fox Sports Arizona VIP tour. Visit ArizonaLottery.com for all event details and dates. Way outside with a slider there. 1-0 the count. Glad to have you with us, and we trust that on this Monday you're having a good day. It's been a good one so far. All of our young ones watching out there as you head closer to inevitable sleepy time tonight as it gets closer to bedtime. We know it's almost summertime for all of you, so work hard. Keep going hard these last few, and hang in there, young man, these last few days of school and weeks of school, and work hard. Make those teachers, force them to give you good grades. 1-2 the count. Love seeing the kids when we get back home. We know we're going to see more and more on this homestand, and then when school's out, that one, look out, boys. Over into the dugout. That's the sight we love at home. All of our young future baseball players. Some may be future doctors and lawyers, too.
They do a great job out there with the instruction.
Sean Payton's out there.
Sean's one of the best in the business.
And we show it to you because we still love the fact that it's in our own ballpark as baseball fans, but to remind you what a great destination it is when you bring your family. Bring the kids up there to get some BP in. Even if you just go look at it and you're an adult and you don't have your kids, it's worth the walk up there or sit up there.
I want to go up there and take a few whacks.
Into the catcher's mitt it goes. 2-2 the count. Ryan Ludwig. It's right up above Friday's Front Row Sports Grill. There's also a play area called the Sandlot. Yeah, you're on TV, sir. And behind the outdoor batting cage is an indoor batting cage as well. So there's a couple of areas to hit. Off the end of the bat, what a pretty piece of hitting. Just unable to use that slider as a put-away pitch, is he?
So far, about every pitch there to Ludwig was a slider, and finally he just picked one out and poked it. It was a quality pitch. It's down and away. He just did a good job with it. Sometimes good pitches get hit, and that's the case.
So here is Kyle Phillips. Phillips swings and he misses a change, huh?
Took a little more off that one at 83.
Well, if anything comes of a night like tonight, if he evolves a bit, that's your positive. He's seen his teammates benefit from the change in velocity.
Exactly.
0-1 the count. Fouls that one back.
Another one. Back-to-back changeups. Another 83-mile-an-hour changeup, 0-2.
And if you're watching at home, that's where you need to look. If it's 88 to 91, that'd be the fastball because they'll have similar movement. If it's 83, 84, that's the changeup. And most of you by now will know the slider diving away from a right-handed hitter. That one is high. 1-2 the count. Hey, folks are emailing the booth. And a good note regarding Ryan Roberts from Carol in Kingman, Arizona. She says, I vote for Railroad since I retired from the Railroad after 33 years, and I'm a big fan of Ryan Roberts.
My father was a Railroad man for many, many years, so good for you, man.
That one is outside. Another changeup. 84 miles an hour diving down and away. High pop, slider, long run. It's a foul ball. 2-2 the count. Don't forget about Kitchenko. You folks have been asking about it. We're back home. Find out and learn how you can play right here at Chase Field by going to the interactive kiosk near section 111 during regular season home games. Kitchenko. We love our friends with Gila River Casino. And we look forward, right after the All-Star break, to doing a game from out there. 2-2.
Now that and sleepy time are very bad ideas.
Well, there is another perspective from our fan Carol from Kingman. I'll share with you in just a minute. 2-2 the count. Driven center field. Young comes on down and he makes the play for the out. That's a fastball. And Kyle Phillips lines out to center field. So one away, 5-0 the score as Galarraga continues to look to piece together the rest of the ball game. A solid outing. He faces Alberto Gonzalez, fellow countryman out of Maracaibo in Venezuela. Good slider over the inside. 0-1 the count. Breaking ball, shoots that one down the line. Uh-oh. And he held on to it. He stuck with it.
He stuck with it.
Is that contract worthy?
That's not worthy of a contract. It's just worthy of a souvenir.
It's a good effort, though.
Yeah, I like the effort.
Alberto was a Yankee and a national in the big leagues.
This is also up here in contract-wise.
Drew flips. Roberts fires. And a fine turn by Ryan Roberts in the middle of the diamond. 6-4-3 gets the boys back in the dugout. Now it's time to start finding some ways to score. Here. That's behind Futures Field. And look at that view out the window. Downtown Phoenix.
Pretty cool.
Got the machine in there. Some more instruction. It's Henry Blanco. Takes strike one. He's Mark Grace. Brad Stanky is down below. I'm Darren Sutton. Glad to have you with us as the breaking ball sails high and away. 1-1 the count. That one into the dirt. Don't forget, anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a large drink purchase. 4-6 the following day. Henry Blanco drives it. Deep left field. Henry out of here. Oh, Henry. His 3rd of the year. He's homering Henry of late.
What a lesson for you young hitters. If you can find a way to get yourself in good hitters counts, hence 3-1 counts, and if you can hit a fastball like Henry Blanco, you're going to hang around in the big leagues for a long, long time. 3-1 fastball right down Broadway. Goodbye. He has made a long, long living hitting that pitch right there. And the Diamondbacks are on the board.
Let's take a look back at the swing, the home run cut from Henry Blanco here in just a moment. Wow, Henry Blanco. A little roller to the right side.
Oh, my goodness. Kyle Phillips just got clobbered by the bat. Right in the back of the head or in the side of the head.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness. He is in agony right now. He just got hammered by the bat. Right in the side of the head. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's hope he's okay. Right in the temple area.
Boy, that's scary. Navarro out checking on him. All the assistant athletic trainer for these Padres. Todd Hutchinson now right behind him, the head man.
It's good to see him smiling, able to carry a conversation. Boy, he took a shot right from the head of the bat. Seems to be okay. Oh my gosh. You know, that's also something. Yeah, so Armando Galarraga didn't mean to do that. That was certainly unintentional. But you got to, you know, it's like in hockey when you get your stick up in hockey and you carve somebody up with your hockey stick and you put stitches on them. They'll tell you, hey, man, control your stick. It's the same thing. Control your bat.
I've rarely, if ever, seen that, and I just noticed it as he put his protective gear back on. He wears that skull cap and that helmet, a batter's helmet, forward, Gracie. He has the bill of the cap forward with the catcher's mask resting on it. I've never seen that. That's neither here nor there as he hides underneath that cap bill. Let's just hope he's all right. They're continuing to talk with him.
He's going to be okay, and that's great news.
So Hutchison and Navarro, along with Bud Black, will head back. 1 inch here, an inch there. You're talking about maybe a cut, something even more severe. Fortunately there for Galarraga, kind of a swing like a man who is 0 for 23 in the big leagues. Here is Chris Young.
Good breaking ball, curve ball there for strike one.
Looking up toward the sky out there is Cameron Maben. Now, if it were July, he'd be looking toward the roof.
Good point.
And there we go. I mean, we have gone inside of master control, if you will. Roof control.
I like it.
Come on. Close the roof. Come on. Kurt Schilling just called. Let's go.
Kurt didn't like it open, did he?
That one is low and inside. 1-0 the count. To Melvin Mora. Changeup sails high from the left arm of Richard. Richard pitched at the University of Michigan. Like J.J. Putz. Just about 6 or 7 years after J.J. did, though. As that one is topped foul off the bat of Melvin Mora. One more time going back to Henry Blanco, our Nissan Foxmo.
Head stays right on it. Perfect extension. And the result we all love, a long ball for Henry Blanco. And he's not celebrating. He's ready to go catch.
On the ground. And nice play out there by Gonzalez. Henry Blanco this year has 5 hits, 1 double, and 3 home runs. taking a peek down at the game. I'm told this is a great trivia question. Who was the last manager to win Manager of the Year without making a postseason before Bud Black did it last year in 2010? It was up to you up there.
That's a tough one.
1-0 the count.
Casey Stengel.
All right, so that's your guess. 1-1 the count. Clayton Richard. A 0 put up there by Galarraga in the third inning. Richard drops that back shoulder and hits a high fly to right.
He just missed one, did Clayton Richard, but it's a high fly out to start the fourth.
He's never hit one. He's got 3 doubles in his career.
Just a fastball right there. And he got the head of the bat to it. But it carried about as far as a pitcher can carry it. He knows he just missed it.
Flashing those pearly whites, the young man out of Lafayette, Indiana.
Got a nice disposition to him, doesn't he? Big dude with a big smile.
He had a few words of quick wit for Chad Qualls, former Diamondback, who is now in the bullpen for the San Diego Padres. Chad was stirring it up as he could, and as he does on occasion, and Clayton jumped right in. As Chad said across the locker room to several of his teammates, and I overheard it. 2-1 the count. He said, "You think I'll get booed? You think they'll boo me since I've come back?" Oh, no, Chad, I don't think that'll happen. And Clayton Richard hopped up. Another guy getting ready for a start, like we talked about, Cole Mentor, and said, "I'll boo you. I'll boo you from the top step." Chad Qualls is back. A little number.
Good pitch there from Galarraga.
Railroad is there, and he makes the play in time for the out.
Really? We're going there.
I don't know.
We're going there.
Well, look.
Choo-choo.
If you're going to buy a pair of shoes, you need to put them on your feet. You need to walk around in them. I just took a walk right there. I haven't left the shoe store, and I haven't bought them yet.
No, what do you think? Railroad Roberts. Or just Railroad?
I don't like it. We did get a note from Thomas O'Reilly in Anthem. He says he loves it.
Fans seem to love it, and the fans are speaking.
He says if he gets better and more powerful, I want Freight Train.
Ooh. Ooh.
And that was emailing the booth.
He's the Diamondbacks' best hitter with runners in scoring position. He's 1 for 1 tonight.
A little roller. Drew cuts in front and fires in time for the out. Cleans it up.
Dirt and Railroad up the middle.
Right there.
It's the all nickname team. We'll be right back, folks.
fly. Going slide.
Wow.
Look out, kids. Nice.
That looks like fun. I want to try.
That is awesome. Justin Upton to lead it off. Upton, big swing. Hits a roller. It hugs the line. Picked up out there. Fired. Not in time.
That's probably one Chase Headley would love to have back and let it go foul. It was going to go foul. And if once he picks it up, there's no way he's going to throw out the streaking Justin Upton who can fly. This ball is going to go foul, folks. But instead, Justin beats it pretty easily. And Justin's kind of squatted down like me. He may have hurt himself. I think he did hurt himself.
Stretching out the quad, the hand, something in the right
that's
leg.
Not good news at all. Angel Hernandez there with the. And he just waved off Ken Crenshaw.
Good.
It's always good. You always want to see a. Looks like he's grabbing the high hamstring area / buttocks. Well, that would be a huge blow if he ends up hurting himself, but he's fine. And he'll move on. Infield hit for Justin Upton to start the fourth, I'm sorry.
1-0 the count to Stephen Drew. So whether it was the high hamstring, the knee, he just kept stretching, and he says he is all right. 1-1 the count. I know Brad following closely today the update on another hamstring injury, Willie Bloomquist. Brad, what do we know?
Well, he had another simulated game today, 5 at bats, and was talking before the game. He says he's feeling better and better, but you know, anytime you have that high hamstring issue, and there's a lot of low blood pressure down there, it just is taking much longer. But you know, this is not a game where you get a long time to get going. It's quick start, quick stop, and so he's just having some issues with that. But the big thing was he had all weekend off. Doctors said take the weekend off of baseball, so he hung out with his family, hung out in the pool, and he actually said that was kind of beneficial.
Stepping on the bag and throwing it away. And so Upton looked to run okay.
Don't know if Hop had a chance to get Justin Upton, but he makes the play, takes the sure out, and then threw it right into the runner. Bartlett never had a chance.
So Upton moves up. 3 unassisted on the ground out. And here is Ryan Roberts. Sleepy time. Railroad. Or the guys in the truck have come up with boxcar.
I kind of like boxcar.
Do you now?
Oh, yeah. I kind of like that.
Sturdy. As that one has popped up coming our way. And, you know, you see the
Dependable.
boxcars. Dependable. Sometimes they have a little spray paint on them. You know, he's got a little spray paint on the arm.
Yeah. Boxcar. We're going to have to ask the folks if they like boxcar, because I think I'm leaning towards that one.
You like that one, do you? We do have some thoughts, folks.
Boxcar. I like that.
Coming on board on D-Backs Booth on Twitter have some thoughts as well. As he takes low, Adam Trace just dropped us a note. It says, Railroad and Sleepy Time, ... horrible. What do you think? 36929, Conductor, Railroad, Boxcar, or Sleepy Time, my personal favorite. That one is inside.
A Conductor is awful. That's just shouldn't even be on there.
Who put that on there?
It hadn't even been mentioned. It's awful. I'm between Railroad and Boxcar, and Sleepy Time needs to go away too, Darren. That's just terrible.
Roberts pops that one up. Into the seats it goes.
Let's throw up that graphic again. Yeah, we're gonna cross off Conductor. We're gonna cross off Sleepy Time. So it's between Boxcar and Railroad, folks.
Well, for tonight, I mean, just our initial. Boy, that's fancy, by the way, telestrator work.
Yeah, that was big league, wasn't it?
Did you go to a class today?
It was an arrow.
2-2 the count.
Didn't really know that was coming. All right. See what old Old Boxcar has for us 2-2.
Into the dirt it goes.
3-2.
Kyle and Chandler sent us an email through the network website. It said, "The Dread Pirate Roberts."
What?
Yeah, too much, right? Just too much. Dave from Dorr, Michigan. Michigan checking in. He likes Cobra. Swings and he misses as a changeup.
He sure did. Well, whatever you call him out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, this one might fit for that last at bat. Unfortunately, BR from Wickenburg says it should be rut row, Scooby-Doo style.
Ah.
That is a rut row.
And that was a rut row right there. Oh, darn it. The gentleman in front of him had a look of anguish on his face as well.
Nady takes a change. It dips over the outside corner. Oh, and 1 the count. Runner in scoring position. Swing
boy,
and
he got a good rip at a slider there, but came up empty.
Well,
the folks are listening. They seem to like Boxcar. They're agreeing with the boys in the truck. He's still upset with himself.
We just got one on FoxSportsArizona.com. Chris in Phoenix. Little Red Roberts hood.
If you ever read something like that over the air again, it's going to be you and me. That is absolutely unacceptable.
I didn't write it. I just read it. Don't kill the messenger. The 1-2. Just off the plate. 2-2 the count. Oh my, how about that swing?
That looked nice.
And an Upton jersey racing on around.
Flying around the bags too. Just do it again.
2-2 to Nady. Ground ball right side. Gonzalez has played a solid second base tonight.
Little Red Robertson going to take his cap and glove and head on out to second base. Terrible.
Rail 5-1. Time to get those bats going as soon as possible. We need some runs, certainly. We want to thank all the folks for having fun with us tonight. Good stuff so far. Let's hope the team can offensively find their way. Clayton Richard has been fabulous tonight as that one is rolled foul. Chase Headley, 2 for 2. He's doubled. He's singled in a run as that one sails off the plate. Headley now has hit in 13 of his last 15 games. And on 1-1, the man out of Tennessee, the University of Tennessee, sees the count run to 1-2. Slider.
Well, good slider there, too. Headley, I mean, didn't even offer at it. Pretty good pitch there from Galarraga, 2-2.
Since allowing the runs in the second inning, Galarraga has cleaned things up as that one sails away. Ground out to Haupt, ground out to Maben ended the inning, and then in the third, a single to Ludwig, line out to center, then a double play ended it, and then a 1-2-3 fourth inning. Headley takes high, ball 4. Headley talking about patience when we were talking about hitting before the game and not hanging your head, giving it bats away, especially in his ballpark. His numbers prove that the later the game goes on, the better he has gotten. So he has lived by those words as a hitter. Interesting talking baseball with him. That one sails outside. 1-0 the count.
This was about the time, Darren, in his last start in San Francisco, that Galarraga had a little wild streak of about 3 or 4 hitters where things started to go south on him. A walk to Chase Headley, now 1-0 to Haupt. Let's see if he can piece it back together and find that strike zone.
Into right field, Upton racing. He'll play it on a hop from Haupt. Fires it back in. Runners on first and third for the San Diego Padres. Brad Haupt now. That's a 7-game hitting streak for the former Colorado Rocky.
That looked like a change-up down. That's where you want to throw it, but Haupt just goes down and rips it into right field for a base hit. And right back come the Padres looking to add on.
In his last 17 games, Haupt has 21 hits, hitting 370. 370. Maben takes a pitch called low. And remember, too, for Haupt, he hit about $1 the first 3 weeks of the season. When you're rolling out of the gates and you've played 17 games and you're hitting 100.
And you've been released twice by Tampa and by Colorado the year previous. Now you better get hot. Good change up there from Galarraga.
And the other part of it that's easy for us to say about Haupt, but I don't know if it applies, is a lot of folks will say, well, Alan, you're filling in for Adrian Gonzalez, who has been moved on. I would hope that never crosses Brad Haupt's mind. He didn't release or send Adrian Gonzalez to Boston.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Out front, high fly. Boy, there is an RBI waiting for Maben. And he just grabbed it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Diamondbacks are just throwing the ball all over the place, booting balls all over the place. And even though nobody moved up there and it wasn't a difference maker, it just makes you look sloppy. Then Young gets it in nicely, but he misses cutoff men. Stephen Drew can't keep it in front. Like I said, it just makes you look sloppy and unprepared, even though it didn't hurt anything. And I'm not saying they are unprepared, but it just looks bad.
Well, it's not how this club has looked the last 19 games, as we told you earlier. Played much better defensively, pitched much better. By the way, San Diego scored 6 or more runs now in their last 6 games. In their first 35 games prior to that, they had done it just 5 times.
Oh, they're giving away tacos galore in San Diego.
Quest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. I don't know if they have the same deal out there in San Diego.
Well, sure.
Clayton Richard Armando Galarraga, 92 and 91. 6-1 is the score. Wow.
I like it. Oh, I don't like that.
Man, deep left field. Touch 'em all. Ryan Ludwig way out of here. Four RBIs in the ball game for Ludwig. He's got a 5-game hitting streak. He's 9 for his last 19 in this.
Fastball right down the middle. Goodbye. Long, long home run for Ludwig.
8-1 San Diego. The pitch is inside. 0-1 the count. On the corner, it grabs it. San Diego Padres coming into this game, this is what we're talking about, scoring those 6 or more runs. You know, Gracie, it's interesting. It's not as if Brad Hawpe has never hit before. It's not as if Ryan Ludwig has never hit before. They've hit before.
Oh, sure.
I think
Brad Hawpe drove in over 100 runs at least 3 times, didn't he?
Oh, yes. I think guys like Maben, Kyle Phillips, younger players looking to guys like that. And if those guys get going, that helps lead the way, the veterans.
Absolutely it does. Just follow their lead. It's part of being a veteran.
Hawpe's one of those guys that's been to heck and back, too. That one is belted. Deep right field. Upton is over. He hauls it in just shy of that wall. That's Kyle Phillips with a rocket shot. 2 outs in the inning.
Second baseman Alberto Gonzalez.
Here's Alberto Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count, Alberto. But not what you hoped for coming back home.
No. Crowd in stunned silence. These Padres have come on. And so far through half the game have just put an absolute beat down on Armando Galarraga and the Diamondbacks.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. That one misses low. Taking a look over Friday's front row grill. Bouncing ball. Mora plays it on the backhand. Nice dig, Xavier Nady. The defense picks it up that time. Galarraga being touched up tonight. 8-1 is the score. of the 06 Florida Marlins, 2006. They have had a habit down there in South Florida of running good managers out of town. Joe Girardi and Freddie Gonzalez. You get out. Go manage the Yankees and Braves.
Yeah, the Braves and Yankees they've had a long history of hiring bad managers. Yeah, right.
Yet the Marlins have had a nice, brief history of late of letting go good ones.
That's what I'm saying. Very well said.
Tough night again for Galarraga. He has now allowed 13 home runs this season. The San Francisco Giants' entire team has allowed 6 more. On the ground, as that one is gobbled up. And in time for the out. Well, it's time for our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game in the 3rd inning. Henry.
There's the D-back offense, folks.
63 career homers.
Well, you were hoping that the D-backs would get back in to town, get back to a place where they really hit the ball well. But these Padres and the Clayton Richard have given up a total of 3 hits thus far.
Fly ball left field. To the corner it goes. Henry did it again. That a way to give him something to cheer for. Henry Blanco, tip of the cap. And good for you, young man. Hope you have fun tonight.
Full extension and just hooks it right down the line about 360 feet. Whoa. Whoa. I love it. Good stuff.
Juan Miranda's been battling some thumb issues. He hops into the box and hits. Henry now has 6 hits this year, a double, and 4 homers.
Oh, that one got him right in the elbow. Ouch. There's a painful trip to first base for Juan Miranda. He's got that elbow pad. I'll help out a little bit, make it not hurt so bad. Fastball just runs right in on that elbow pad. Ouch. I mean, right on the button.
By the way, Blanco with those 4 home runs now can stand side by side in bragging rights with his younger and more regular starting catcher. 4 home runs apiece for Montero and Henry Blanco.
Wow.
Don't you know
and a lot less at bats, I would imagine.
The elder statesman will let him know about it, don't you think?
I think there's a lot of people letting him know about it.
You notice Henry, by the way, how he ran the bases, how he came in and respectfully received a fist bump and a slap on the back. He's not in there yucking it up.
No, it's 8-2. He knows what the scoreboard says. He's been around a long time. You don't yuck it up when you. Yeah, he's having one of the better games probably of his life right now. A 2-homer game, 2 for 2. But at the end of the day, you're getting beat 8-2. So he's respecting his other teammates that are out there getting their fannies kicked. Or Armando Galarraga, who's no longer in the game. He's showing respect for him and just going about his business. 3-1.
As it should be. I just don't know that it always occurs every time. That's why I thought I'd bring that up. A balk is called. They were talking about the step from Richard. He disagrees. Why hang it that close, though, at an 8-2 score? I guess just trying to grab himself.
Just trying to get an out without making a pitch. He said he stepped too much towards home plate. Angel Hernandez right there. Says, no, it's not. That's not a balk, Angel. Read his lips. But Angel says, well, yes, it is. Head to second.
3-1 the count. That's ball 4. Back to Blanco for a moment, relishing the opportunity to work with Montero. He's worked with many young catchers, and he shared with us in San Diego what it means to him.
It's an honor so I can help, this guy. They got a long future in the big leagues, and it takes a lot of pride when, you ask them a question and they say, I learned a lot from this guy. I just like to help. I'm not that type of guy that we should do bad so I can go and play. But, as much as I can help you, I can help the team to win some games. I'm going to be there for you.
He has been teammates with Giovanni Soto in his first year, Joe Mauer in his first year, Nick Hundley in his first year. And they all have high praise for the way he's shown them the little things. Nothing more, nothing less than shown them the little things.
He's showing some big things tonight. 2 bombs into the left field seats. All of a sudden now, after the home run, the control's starting to go awry a little bit on Clayton Richard. He hit Juan Miranda and then walks Chris Young to put a couple of freebies out there. And that's the last thing you want to do when you've got a big lead.
To right field, Melvin Moore. Matty Williams says, come on down. Young will head to third. Arizona trying to chip away. Henry Blanco breathes a little life into this club, and they follow up after a hit batter. Start moving the train around, if I may. The railroad tracks.
I like it. And I really like that. Just a beautiful piece of hitting from Melvin Mora. Good base running all the way. Chris Young going hard into third. Now Justin Upton with an opportunity to keep the train moving.
Montero's 11th, or I should say Mora's 11th RBI of the year. Upton has walked, he has singled.
Good breaking ball there for strike 1 from Richard.
We have seen Upton and his gifts in these situations at times try to do too much in his young career.
Now all you have to do is take a page right out of what Melvin Mora just did. Don't try to do too much. Big swing at a changeup, and he came up empty 0-2. But just Melvin Mora, he just let the ball travel and just swatted it to right field for 1 RBI and set up Justin Upton. As Chad Qualls gets ready, hoping not to be booed.
1-2 the count to Upton.
Well, really big batter in the game right here for the Diamondbacks. Fights that one off. That was a good pitch in on the knuckles of Justin Upton. Justin Upton can do something base hit wise. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. Oh, he swung at a bad pitch, and that's strike 3.
Went after a changeup, it looked like.
Yeah, once again, Justin just getting a little too giddy in those big situations. We've seen it a lot this year. Looks like a little slider in front of the plate, and Justin couldn't lay off of it. Now it's going to be up to Stephen Drew with 2 outs.
The moon peeks into the ballpark here at Chase.
Those are just situations where you just love to have some contact and get that run across. Instead, Stephen Drew is going to have to do something with 2 outs. Oh, he had a good pitch to hit, and this time it was his turn to miss it.
No balls and 1 strike the count.
Stephen Drew can find his way on. Ryan Roberts, who is the best hitter the Diamondbacks have with runners in scoring position, would get an opportunity. But now the Diamondbacks are really chasing pitches out of the zone now. Something they haven't been doing off of Clayton Richard all night. But in these big situations now, they're getting a little too amped up. And they're starting to free swing when actually what they were doing was just fine.
No balls and 2 strikes to count.
I'm sure Don Baylor at the end of the day was going to show all these guys that hitting tape of what Melvin Mora did in his at-bat. Just not try to do too much. Keep base runners going. A run here, a run there. Yeah, 3-run homer would be fabulous right here. That's hard to do. Those don't happen very often.
We'd love just one more. And then maybe one more after that. But if you can get one more here, pull yourself within a grand slam. With many more trips to the plate remaining. Well, that's a nice hang around.
This is what I'm talking about with Melvin Mora, folks. Is that a home run swing right there? Not at all. That's I'm going to get me a base hit swing the other way. That is just beautiful hitting, not trying to pull an outside pitch, not trying to do too much, just a nice, smooth swing, hitting it the other way. That's why he's been around so long, too, Darren.
Isn't it funny? As Bobby Freeman gets us ready for some offense, some more you hope. Isn't it funny the 2 39-year-olds doing the big damage?
That's why they've been around the big leagues for so long. They know how to act in those situations. And they don't get over amped, if you will.
Outside.
Just missed. 3-2 now. Melvin Mora will be on the move at first base with the full count. Stephen Drew is down in the hole, 0-2. Now he's battled back with Ryan Roberts on deck.
Runners in scoring position has been a bugaboo for Richard. Not that time, though. Not that time. You hope for more, but you get a couple. Henry Blanco with 1 and 2 home runs in this ball game. 4. Same total as Miguel Montero. Win the Racing Legends race. Boy, look at that young man. So
Last
what happened? He got hammered. Look at the ambassador.
I mean, my guy doesn't even finish. What a pig.
Oh, boy. Your Mayan calendar. That's the key there. Your Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
You're combining a couple of prophecies there with your chalkboard. Just kind of made your own. Running out of time to win, are you?
I make my own. Got to stay up on the current events, Darren.
You're running out of chances. The big Goot comes on out of the bullpen. He's been good in these situations. Club is down.
Had a couple of good outings. Got kicked around early in the year. But he's starting to earn himself a few more trips to the mound. Right now, his job is to keep the Diamondbacks in the ball game. In order to do that, he's got to put a 0 on the board. Well, the Diamondbacks missed a big opportunity to put 3 or 4 on the board. They came away with 2. You like coming up with 2, but boy, you hate some missed opportunities. When you've got first and third, Darren, with 1 out, and you've got your number 3 and number 4 hitters coming to the plate, you expect this game to be a little closer.
As you said, the fan in me was hoping for 1 more. As Clayton Richard takes outside. 2-0 the count. Richard, as we mentioned, out of Indiana. As he takes, and that one is a called strike. Richard went to the University of Michigan. He played some football there as well. As that one is hacked back to the screen. Boy. He's a closer.
Really?
For the Wolverines coming out of the bullpen. He's the first 2-sport baseball player since Robbie Reed did it. Played basketball and baseball. Academic honors. Great in the classroom. Swing and a miss from one starting pitcher to another, and an ace right now in Ian Kennedy. I know, Brad, we've been talking about texting. We've been talking about, getting folks online and Twitter. You've got something on Skype with the ace of the Diamondbacks.
That's right. As you guys know, it was a very long road trip, and Ian Kennedy is a new papa, so it was kind of tough to, keep in touch with Nora Rose, his brand new daughter. So they tried Skype, and they tried it during a lot of, during the day games, and just never wasn't working out. So he had an off day, was playing some golf, and was able to hook up on his phone with his wife, Allison, and was able to Skype.
I like that.
Yeah, and so I think they're going to try that a lot. He says, Nora Rose is sleeping much better. I think that bodes well for the D-backs.
You were talking earlier, too, about Willie Bloomquist, Brad. And as Willie makes his personal time, he said he was actually in the pool, maybe able to get, without knowing it, some good work in on that hamstring.
Yeah, he said it was obviously great quality family time to hang out with the kids at the pool, but he was able to sort of loosen up that hammy in there as well. And so he had a pretty good sunburn as well.
Oh.
But he said he was able to watch a little of the game and work out the hammy.
Sounds to me like he was more out there for pleasure and not really working.
A little bit of both. Thank you, Brad. They need this guy, Gracie. They really do. You can't directly tie it, but they have not been the same offensive gloves since he went on the DL.
Yeah, he was full of excitement. He was hitting well. He was stealing bases, playing great defense anywhere you put him.
Denorfia with a high fly ball center field. What's going on over there?
Well, I'm about to tell you. You can follow the D-backs with MLB.com at Bat11 for your iPhone, your iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit dbacks.com for details.
Oh, that was a good read.
Thank you. Better than the first one. That was terrible.
Wasn't very solid, was it?
Sleepy time.
Buries that fastball into Jason Bartlett. Curveball, hot shot. Steven, way to stay with it. By his belt, in time for the out. Boy, that was a lightning bolt. And Mr. Drew turns it into an out. 80s, the miscues early were costly. Roberts, Drew, and a couple of errors, and then the hits followed for the San Diego Padres as Galarraga could not undo himself from the miscues, but there was more. Ryan Ludwig with a 3-run homer in the 5th inning. At least Henry Blanco's having some fun. The 39-year-old, not one, but 2 home runs for Blanco. And another 39-year-old Melvin Mora with an RBI as well. Ryan Roberts takes a pitch that is up and away. 1-0 the count. Roberts has been the center of our discussion tonight on the lighter side, if you will. He has singled and has struck out. Puts that one on the ground, and playing on a backhand is Bartlett. Nice play. And well, they like the tattoos, so we've kind of been going down the nickname road. Some people were curious, trying to let us know what's going on. There's what's going on so far. Sleepy Time making a move.
Wow. It's a terrible choice. I thought I already scratched those out.
Look at your arrow.
Those are big league arrows, aren't they?
Folks, you need to go ahead and get Sleepy Time over 10% for me. 36929. That was our first suggestion, just to let you in on it. On D-Backs Booth on Twitter, that was our first suggestion. Ultimately, that man has to sign off on it. The radio voice of the Diamondbacks and kind of the, the Chief Justice, if you will, of nicknames.
Very well said. Chief Justice, I like that.
That reminds me when you run court down at fantasy camp and you put the robe on.
Yeah, the flowing robe and the powdered wig. He's the judge and jury.
He decides.
When it comes to nicknames.
He's got an email from Ollie Simpson.
Really? What did Ollie have to say?
He says Stud Muffin is his nickname.
Oh, Ollie Simpson. Going with Stud Muffin.
Barb and Chandler likes rough and ready.
I'm a little concerned about Ollie Simpson and Stud Muffin.
Can't help you. Just passing. Again, I'm the messenger, so please go easy on me. Katie in Dallas likes Doc Roberts. Swing and a miss. Nady goes down on strikes. Well, you felt like they had a chance to have Richard on the ropes, and now he's hopped off, don't you?
Yeah, he got a big boost of adrenaline by striking out number 3 hitter Justin Upton and number 4 hitter Stephen Drew to end the bottom of the 5th after the Diamondbacks had already plated 2. And he comes right out and just gets 2 quick, easy outs here in the 6th inning.
But anyway, Sleepy Time was the first one that was submitted today. As we went out fishing early before the game on D-Backs Booth on Twitter. Yes, and the gentleman said you're welcome after giving us that nickname. That one is low. 2-0 the count to Gerardo Parra. Just got one from John Eastwood. He says, I'm not a big fan of nicknames, but here goes. Tatmandu.
Ooh, that's clever.
You like that?
Well, no, but it's clever. Put a little thought behind that as that's ball 4 to Gerardo Parra.
Parra reaches. He is on for the first time tonight.
And Henry, the fans are buzzing a little bit because
That's
Henry
great.
Blanco is stepping into the box. Yeah. But Black's on his way to the mound. He said, nope, you're not going to get Clayton Richard again there, Mr. Blanco. You're going to get Chad Qualls. I would imagine. Let's see if he decides to go with it or not.
100 pitches.
He's going to make the move. Job well done by Clayton Richard. But you are no longer going to face Henry Blanco ever again.
Henry's never had a 3-homer game. He now has 4 2-homer games in his career. He takes a run at it right after this.
Twins game, the first 15,000 fans are going to get that D-backs Gnome courtesy of Pepsi. Be sure to look inside your Gnome box. It could have tickets for the All-Star Game or the MLB Fan Fest. Get tickets by calling 602-462-4790 or log on to dbacks.com/gnome. Well, did he get booed?
No, he didn't get booed at all.
Good.
As we thought, he's had a nice year, really nice year. Rediscovered who he once was and what he was for a season with the Diamondbacks as well. That's a good relief pitcher. Slider for a strike.
I was speaking to him earlier in the year, and he said one big reason for his success is his knee's healthy. Remember, he hurt himself throwing the last out of a game, but he's healthy again and throwing the ball very well in San Diego.
Slider misses outside. 1-1 the count. It's given up just one long ball this year. Alfonso Soriano got him back on April the 20th.
Always has had great stuff, Darren. I think it was just a little unfair to expect him to be a closer. He's always been a 7th or 8th inning guy and a very good 7th or 8th inning guy.
His first year here, worth mentioning, 2008, he had a 2.81 ERA in 73 innings. That one is up and away, a sinker. You know what else he's done over the last, well, 6 or 7 seasons? He's gone to the post regularly.
Absolutely.
He's been good for 70 to 80 appearances a year.
Give me the ball. I'll take care of you.
Henry puts that one on the ground. And in time for the out. Qualls comes on, cleans things up, keeps it in an 8-3 lead for the San Diego Padres, and for that man who will not boo him. Fox Sports Arizona presents Diamondbacks Baseball, brought to you by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates. Sonic, America's drive-in. It's new, it's better, it's the new Sonic Good. The new Quest 5-year price lock promise. Visit quest.com/promise for details. The home to the 2011 Major League Baseball All-Star Game here at Chase Field. Look forward to Home Run Derby and that pool. Getting to know one another.
I would imagine there's going to be a lot of balls going over that pool.
Up into the balcony, as I like to call it, those overhang seats, and maybe some up into Friday's Front Row Sports Grill. The Home Run Derby has become a true trademark of the All-Star Week.
Chris Young was in it last year.
Yes, he was. That's Monday night. The batting practice, the Home Run Derby. Sunday is the Futures game, and then the All-Star Softball Celebrity Challenge. You know anything about that?
I'll be playing. I'll be participating.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's great. That one is a shot.
Well, this guy just hammers Diamondback pitching.
Nice play by Justin Upton. And Headley was talking about this ballpark, how much he enjoyed it. I think right now he'd handle and enjoy any ballpark.
Change up right down Broadway, and he just rips it over the head of second baseman Stud Muffin.
Oh, boy.
According to Ollie Simpson.
Gets better.
A little uncomfortable.
As the game goes on. We're probably going to pass on that one, as that is swung right through. Chase likes Chase. 24 games in this ballpark coming in. He's hitting .309. He's got 10 multi-hit games.
So if the Diamondbacks could get Headley and Utley,
yes,
it'd be kind of big league.
It would be a nice fit.
Having those guys here.
And I'm sure those respective teams will just give them to us, to the organization. There you go.
I just think it'd be the mannerly thing to do.
Your ballpark's name is Chase Field. Fine partnership you have. So here's Chase Utley.
Yeah. And then we can just immediately change the name to Pujols Field.
Oh, really? Now?
Yeah, don't you think?
I think that's not such a bad idea. Albert Pujols' St. Louis Cardinals were victorious 3-1 tonight. I haven't checked on Mr. Albert and how he did in the ball game, but I do know he played third in the victory.
I'm sure he played it very well. Couldn't have done too badly. The Cardinals only gave up 1 run.
Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Pujols did play third base, a little bit of first. He was hitless, but his team won. Some other news around big league baseball to share with you. We like to call it the out-of-town scoreboard. Martin Prado, the National League Player of the Week, nearly 500. He's coming in a few days. Chipper Jones is injured, a knee problem, by the way. The Reds swept the Cardinals this week, and there was nearly a Donnybrook after that game. And then David Wright, that's too bad. Bad news for him. Some back problems, stress fracture, and he will just have to treat it and recover.
Coco Cordero and the Cardinal bench, led by Dave Duncan, the pitching coach. Now they were not happy. Albert Pujols got hit by a pitch.
Not intentionally, a 2-strike pitch. He was trying to come in, and they were irate in the Cardinals dugout. Cordero kept himself together until he ended the game with the third out. Then he was irate, right back at that Cardinals dugout.
Well, the Cardinals and the Reds, it's official. They don't like each other.
It's kind of fun, isn't it?
I think it's great.
It's kind of fun.
I wish there was more stuff like that, like the Red Sox and the Yankees. Used to be the Cubs and Cardinals. Dodgers, San Francisco don't like each other.
Maben on the ground. Drew will have to hurry. Roberts fires. Boy, Maben can fly. Cameron Maben streaking up the line.
Left fielder Ryan Ludwig.
Awfully close. Does he get him? It's a good call over there by Angel Hernandez. He got it right. He was safe. Umpires once again doing a heck of a job here, Darren.
Per usual. Ludwig played.
Yeah. We up here in the booth, and I include our hard-working people down in the truck, putting all this together for you folks. I think too many times replays show a missed call, and we show it a lot and all that, but I'm glad we show the replays when they get them right, too. At least on this broadcast we do. And we want to make sure we do that.
Well, I also don't like an overreaction when one is missed.
I agree.
When we have to show 4 different replays to find the decisive call.
On this show, we admire and respect umpires. Now, are we going to tell you when they blow one? You bet your tomatoes we are. But we're also going to tell you the other 9 times they get it right.
They tell you, too. Hey, I missed that one. 1-1 the count, Ryan Ludwig. He did not go around. Says Angel Hernandez.
And he did not go once again. Oh, Angel's having a great inning. He is having a great inning.
Two and one the count, 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Padres as they continue to travel their bats on this trip to Milwaukee, Colorado, and now Phoenix. 3 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors for the Diamondbacks. Big errors that were costly earlier in the ball game in the second inning. Looked like he went that time.
Yeah, Joe West doesn't need any help on that one from Angel Hernandez. He's going to take that one himself. Joe West, the home plate umpire. That's what he sees. Oh yeah, that one got way out there. Yes, you did. It's never good when the umpire just pointed right at you. Looks like Joe's lost some weight, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Good for him.
That's our buddy.
Looks at least 5 months younger. 2-2. That one is outside. We love Joe West. We run into him in the tunnel sometimes.
Here's some video of that chocolate cake.
Folks at the pool enjoying themselves. I heard chocolate cake and looks like something to wash it down with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
It was a good pour, I guess.
It was a good vintage.
It was a great year, 2011. Breaking ball, strike 3 over the inside corner. We make mistakes here in the booth too, though. We don't want to be hard on the umpires. For an example, sleepy time is a nickname. It's terrible.
Three inside the Diamond Club. Jody Jackson alongside Joe Borowski as we get set for our post-game show, Quest Diamondbacks Live. And Joe, Armando Galarraga, another tough outing. Why does he continue to struggle?
Armando continues to get bit by leaving the ball up. But he did do something earlier in the game that we haven't seen him do much. Could it be a game changer? I'll tell you what it was and how it could just help him down the road.
All right, Joe, we'll be interested to hear that, as well as we hope to hear from manager Kirk Gibson and a reaction from the Diamondbacks clubhouse. Guys?
Well, thank you very much. We look forward to the assessment from our relief pitcher out there in right field who's warming up for the ball game with Jody Jackson. Hey there, cutie. Look at that little one. Giants bib on. Just bright orange.
Oh, I love it.
He's kind of a front runner. I don't blame him. You know. Well, Venable takes over in center field, so obviously that late scratch was not due to injury, which is good news for Padres fans. He was initially in the starting lineup and then scratched as he goes on to take over as Russell Branyan. First pitch swinging to the bag on a big shift. Russell tries to find his stroke, and it's not an easy thing. Coming off the bench, he has seen very little playing time as a starter on this road trip and now coming back home. It's tough. Here is Chris Young. Well, a lot of folks are joining us on D-Backs booth on Twitter, and we appreciate you following us. But they're really down on sleepy time for Ryan Roberts.
Well, because it's awful. I mean, they are right on the button. I know you're not welcome because that's not a thankable situation.
That pitch is low. 1-1 the count.
I do kind of like boxcar. Maybe railroad.
The 2-0.
Oh, my goodness.
Swing and a miss. Chad Qualls gets some dive on that sinker. Look at Sleepy Time making a big move.
That is such baloney.
Yeah! That is great. I'm told that is real, too. That is not fixed.
Such baloney. Boxcar needs to make a move.
On across, and the play is made, and Young is retired. Again, vote 36929. Text to A, B, C, or D.
Come on, folks. That's just ridiculous. It's sleepy time. Oh, it's dead even. Railroad not doing anything. Boxcar starting to take the lead. And Conductor might be the most minor league name I've ever seen. Oh, look at Boxcar.
Bouncing ball. Setting. Firing. Wow, what a play. Jason Bartlett with a long throw across the diamond. Folks are having fun. It's getting late. You know what happens when it gets late. You get sleepy time.
Stop it.
FoxSportsArizona.com has exclusive coverage of the Diamondbacks. Find out what the next step is for the Cardinals, talking about football.
Yeah.
And check out the Rattlers recap. By the way, Mark McClune on the call the other night for the Rattlers indoor football game, arena football. Make FoxSportsArizona.com your home for complete coverage of your Arizona teams. Didn't they lose like 60-59 or 50-49 or something crazy like that? 50-49, the Rattlers, a tough one, a tough loss.
Yeah, they're going to be okay. They're going to be just fine.
Sam Demmel goes to work. That pitch is on the inside corner. Joe Weston's had a good strike zone tonight.
He has had a very good strike zone, a very consistent strike zone.
Demmel, everything moves. There's that one off the plate. 1-1 the count, Sam. Ouch.
Phillips had a rough night. Oh! Well, bat slammage. He's taking one in the noggin, and then he took one in the thigh. And he's not happy about it. He didn't like it. Right in the thigh it goes.
Boy.
And then a big bat slam.
All right with that.
Bam!
Good.
He didn't like it. He's tough. He's a catcher, though. Catchers are tough. They take shots all the time.
That pitch is a strike. Kyle Phillips, California guy in the San Diego area, was picked up last June and played a majority of last year in AAA. Really did big work in AAA for the Padres. And finally got his opportunity when Nick Hundley went on the disabled list this year. Sam Demmel dives that one low. Sam just hasn't, for whatever the fit is, earned the regular time that I think he hoped he would get. I mean, he's pitched 12 total innings, and he has worked a third of an inning here and 2/3 of an inning there and a third of an inning here. It's been good work. But when Kirk Gibson was speaking about the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning today, before the ball game, the manager was making it clear, and understandably so. J.J. Putz, 9th inning. David Hernandez, 8th inning. Then he mentioned Esmerling Vasquez as a possibility of one of the guys there.
And Joe Patterson will be hanging around in case the tough lefty comes up.
But it was Heilman and Vasquez, with Heilman with a leg up on Vasquez for the 7th inning assignment.
Well, Darren, in the Saturday 1-0 game that Josh Coleman pitched against Chad Billingsley, after 6 stellar innings from Josh Coleman, the 7th inning was handed to Aaron Heilman, and he just blew away 3 Dodgers.
He sure did. Logan Forsythe receives the assignment. There's J.J. Putz. If there's a big comeback, or if there were a lot of runs put on the board, the manager wasn't sure if Putz would work in this ball game tonight. Said if I have a safe situation, I'll piece it together. J.J. might be able to change my mind, but he said in all those one-run games, fans don't understand that a closer is up every night, warming in a one-run game.
Sure.
Warming, fully ready to go into the game. He's worked back-to-back days and then full warmed every night before that. Gibson was leaning towards giving him the night off.
Well, it looks to me like he's probably going to get the night off.
He will by the score, obviously.
Right. That's the crazy thing about a closer. Sometimes you're needed 5 or 6 times a week, and sometimes you're not needed for 2 weeks.
We saw it in that San Francisco series. In the end, they went with the other options, those San Francisco Giants, as it was closed down by Javi Lopez. But Brian Wilson was either winning games or closing games every day.
Every single one. That's what happens when you play all those close games. You're up or throwing constantly.
Probably won't see Heath Bell unless there is a rally for the Diamondbacks. Sales up and in.
Sam's having a little trouble throwing strikes.
Worked 4 days ago. That was the last time he worked. Forsythe earns a walk. What's coming up? We look forward to seeing you at the ballpark. That's what's coming up. The San Diego Padres tomorrow night. The Atlanta Braves come to town. That's exciting. Always exciting when the Braves come and visit. Braves fans travel well as well. And then the Midwest sports fans here to see the Minnesota Twins, and also you Diamondbacks fans for a weekend. Getting closer to summertime, and plan your weekend and come on out to the ballpark. Twins. Stunning.
They're getting whipped again tonight. Worst record in baseball.
Stunning.
Worst record in baseball.
One and 0 the count.
Never thought I'd say that.
Never did I. And you've had him quite a bit on
Ron
network.
Gardner, no.
One and 1 the count to Chris Denorfia. That was a tough night for the Fighting Neds in Kansas City.
Huh?
Cleveland came to town and beat up Ned Yost's team 19-1.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the Neds.
An interesting line score in that one for the Fighting Neds. Young man by the name of Vin Mazzaro came out of the bullpen, took one for the team.
I think he's a catcher.
If he's a catcher, he really took one for the team. On across in time for the
No,
out.
he's not a catcher. He's a pitcher.
He's from Hackensack, New Jersey. He is a hurler. And Gracie, I got to tell you about this line.
He got hurt, huh?
Well, Kyle Davies knocked out early, couldn't find the strike zone, and then Nate Adcock came in, went an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 hits and 1 run, and then Vin Mazzaro came on and went 2 1/3 innings, giving up 11 hits and 14 earned runs.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's just wrong to do to a pitcher.
Too much?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Boy, that is a lot. I've never heard of that, especially with a relief pitcher.
That's leaving a guy out there. Basically, your ERA will never recover from that for the rest of the year.
No,
it won't. So that's basically just in one game, you just got a guy released. You just got a guy released, and it could ruin his career. Because one day or night, he didn't have it. He didn't have it.
Last year, Mazzaro pitched 122 innings for Oakland, had a 4.27 ERA. Be curious to find and read Ned Yost's comments. Fly ball into right center field off the bat of Bartlett. Cutting on across to make the play.
Kelly Leak.
Kelly Leak. Got an update, by the way, on some minor league pitching when we come back. is the score. Rosencrown right across the street.
Good spot.
Heritage Square, right by the ballpark. Why haven't you been there?
I have.
Not you. Folks at home. Make an evening of it. Don Johnson's at the game.
Good to have Don.
Good looking shades on.
Oh, Kenny Powers' father.
Inside. The right-hander Frieri goes to work. Bottom of the 8th inning. All right.
You're ready, huh? Ready for some hitting?
I am ready.
You asked for it.
All right, that's what we're looking for. Justin Upton out of here. Now we're talking. Something to get these folks out of their seats. This game's fun, Gracie. I've been telling you. As Upton touches them all. Justin. Home run number 8. Unlocks him in his tie with Ryan Roberts. And he's tied with his good buddy Chris Young.
Fastball middle in and down. And Justin just crushes it high and deep into left center field.
Another Fulton Homes homer. Another $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
Don Johnson, yeah. I'm sorry. That guy's so cool. He might freeze up.
You think? 2-0 the count.
That's cool.
The right-hander Frieri fires that one high. 3-0 the count.
Ball 4. All of a sudden, Frieri has come out and trying to make things exciting and interesting.
Eight runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Padres. 6 left on base. 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Diamondbacks. They've stranded 5. Ryan Roberts. A lot of you folks have been good fans. You've let us have a little fun. You've played along tonight. And you've been coming up with nicknames for Ryan Roberts. Nicknames like Ink and Inky. Nicknames like Little Red Roberts Hood.
I told you not to say that on the air anymore.
And, of course, Sleepy Time will win in the end.
Nope, Boxcar starting to take command. Nice going out there, gang.
Well, we need more signs this week, too. And they need to be Boxcar or Sleepy Time signs.
Well, not Sleepy Time. Railroad or Boxcar.
I don't know if I've said it to you in our 5 years we've worked together, but we do need more signs at the ballpark. I mean, we really do.
Because those are not big league.
Have I told you about those signs we need?
You know what? You haven't been asking for many this year. I'm a little disappointed in you.
Big
man,
swing.
He had a good rip of a fastball in the middle of the plate and fouled it back. Yeah, come on, Boxcar.
Oh, you like that? Look at that.
I like it. Give him the hit sign.
That is awesome. Good for you, young man.
I'll tell you what, Matt Williams can learn a little something from that young fella.
Did he hold up? The young man's right there on it. I mean, he has the angle, too. He's down there kind of behind Angel Hernandez. He said he didn't go either. Let's see. Did he go, young man? No. Come on. That's great. Right back to the signs. The 2-2. Got him. So Roberts goes down. We promised good news, young man. Hold on. We've got some good news from down on the farm for you.
Yeah.
Wes Romer pitched very well. He was Arizona's first-round pick in 07 out of Cal State Fullerton. 7 2/3 innings tonight. 2 hits, 1 run. And on the season, a 2.39 ERA in 8 starts. 43 strikeouts, 7 walks this year. 52 2/3 innings, just 36 hits allowed. And maybe turning some heads either one level above or even 2 levels above where they make the decisions.
Possibly, exactly.
So congratulations to Wes. Good for him. We try to keep an eye on our minor leaguers. So is he.
Hey, Kevin Towers and the powers that be. Hey, they've shown Josh Colementor you can pitch your way onto this ball club.
Roberts with a single and 4 trips. He is 1 for 4 as he is retired. 0-1 the count. Nady tonight 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout for Xavier Nady.
That ball was up. 1-1.
1 ball and 1 strike the count. There we go. Come on now. I'm sure Nady's watching. He gave the steal. Throw down. Attaboy, young man. We know who's calling the shots in this ballpark. He's over beyond the dugout on the first base side.
He almost could have been called out right there. Looked like that foot came off the bag, but that rarely gets called when it's that quickly put back on. Yeah. Well, I love that. Bring the family on out to the ballpark, folks. Look at the fun they have. The kids, the adults.
He's living with every pitch. A rally hat.
I like it. Tell you what, Sisterson, you sit down. I can't see. He does a pretty good sequence, doesn't he?
Rolls that one foul. Now, do you know his signs?
Well, I don't know his. I need to watch him at least 3 or 4 more times before I can get him. I think that's just the hit away sign.
Oh, okay. So just a green light. Go for it. 2-2.
Oh, really now? Really now? He's going to charge. Well, that one really got Nady good, too. I mean, that one was all over him. But like a true pro, he just heads right to first base. I mean, this ball gets him good. Oh, right in the ribs. Right in the ribs, and that is going to upset one young man giving signs down there.
He's wondering if they should award
He's
both
giving
sides.
the warnings, exactly. He is giving the warnings. Both sides are warned. Buddy Black, Kirk Gibson, you've been warned. Any more of that nonsense, and you're both gone.
Dan Patrick Show. Don't miss exclusive guests like Mark Grace, including high-profile athletes and celebrities, breaking sports news and unparalleled insider access, and pop culture commentary. It is the Dan Patrick Show. It's weekdays at 6 a.m., and it's fun to watch on Fox Sports Arizona. Well, for my money, one of the game's best setup men right here, and he has earned his way before struggling in Milwaukee, battling injuries, knee problems. In the last 3 years, he's been unhittable. Mike Adams.
Just about every year he's got an ERA around 1. Probably hoping not to pitch him, but because of the troubles by Frieri, he's going to have to come in and try to put out a fire. And it's a fire that was a leadoff homer followed by a walk and a hit batsman. Diamondbacks have 5 more outs to do a little damage here.
Since 2009, Adams a 1.32 ERA. Since 09. Popped up and into the seats, and we have learned about Gerardo Parra that he only homers against aces and closers.
Really?
Cliff Lee, Houston Street. Both homers to left field. His only 2 homers of the year. And our young coach is ready. Sister's not quite sure if she's all into it. She's putting up with him. 0-1 the count. Adams, did he get a swing? He did not go. 1 ball and 1 strike. But that 1.32 ERA for Adams since the start of the 09 season, the best amongst all relievers in baseball. In the big leagues. And comfortably the best. Swing and a miss, pulled a string on him. 1-2 the count. A little tougher now to coach, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tougher to coach with 2 strikes.
Johnny Ventress has a 1.69 ERA with Atlanta. Andrew Bailey a 1.70 in Oakland. And Mariano Rivera a 1.74.
Who refused to ever get old.
Those are the top 4 since 09 in relief pitcher ERA. Adams number 1.
Good
Slider.
Night.
Outside corner. APS Energy All-Star is Henry Blanco. Homer not once, but twice, giving him 4 on the season at 39 years old. And tying him up with a man who's about to hit for him.
Have you ever seen a guy that's got 2 home runs in a game get pinch hit for? You're about to see it.
Never have.
You're about to see it. I'm stunned by this.
There to make the play in right field and put it away are the Padres.
He's got a sugar rush going like you wouldn't believe. He's got gum and candy. Here, sis. Here, Matt Latos of the Padres. Just a little candy for the pseudo third base coach. I like it.
Joe Patterson takes the rock and he rolls. The left-hander out of Oregon State, 16 appearances, finally allowed an extra inherited run to score recently, but still, 14 of 17 have been stranded. He hasn't allowed a run on his own in 16 appearances. As he faces Chase Headley, he has been a pleasant surprise as a Rule 5 pick claimed from the San Francisco Giants organization. The Oregon native fires an off-speed pitch as that one misses away. 1-1 the count. Chase Headley, the switch hitter, flips it on around, and Miguel Montero, who hit for the 2-home-run hitting Henry Blanco, is in to catch. Lifted to left, Gerardo Parra is there, and Patterson erases Headley.
First time he's been erased tonight. Just off the end of the bat, a sweeping breaking ball and an easy fly ball to left.
So now Brad Hawpe. Well, Gracie and I will be back with you tomorrow night. Same two teams, it's just a 2-game series. Daniel Hudson, love watching him pitch, and he has done good things of late. And he's got a tough foe on the other side, Tim Stauffer, who deserves to be much better than 0-1 this year.
And Jair Jurgens of Atlanta on Thursday in here. That's going to be a tough customer for Cole Minter, as that one, big sweeping breaking ball, strike 2. Have you seen what Jair Jurgens is doing this year?
Good stuff.
Oh, my goodness. Just every start, dealing.
He wanted to come back and pitch last year. He kept trying and flying down to Florida and throwing in instructional league games, and he'd rejoin the team. I was able to cover that first round against the Giants, and he tried to get back, and by the time he was healthy and ready to go, it was over for the Braves. 2-2 the count. Got good stuff, heavy.
Oh, man.
3-2 the count to Brad Hawpe. But anyway, we'll look forward to talking baseball with you tomorrow night. And don't forget our post-game show. Keep it right here.
Oh, man, he just ate up Brad Hawpe with a fastball in. He's been fun to watch early in the year, Darren.
Well, it's been great.
There was a lot of doubts about this kid, a Rule 5 kid from the San Francisco Giants.
Center fielder Will Venable.
And was he ready to pitch in the big leagues? And I think through the first 6 weeks or 7 weeks of this season, Darren, the answer is absolutely yes. He can get left-handers out in the big leagues.
Will Venable tries to bunt, but does him a favor. It's right back to him. A little underhand flip. Another 0.
Probably should have tried to drive that in the gap.
All right, young man, we need 4. tickets on this homestand for all active, reserve, and retired military with valid ID. And when you present one ID, you receive 2 baseline reserve tickets. And that's a very good thing. Yeah, deservedly so. Deservedly so. We thank all our men and women for their service. Kelly Johnson is called upon. Johnson scuffling. Been a tough go for Kelly. As that one paints the outside corner.
He's done giving signs. Nope.
Pops that one foul up and into the seats. Kelly's 185 clip. Vernon Wells and Mark Reynolds, the only players in baseball with lower batting averages at 183. That one is over the outside corner for Johnson.
Unfortunately, another strikeout for Kelly Johnson.
It's 49 this year. It's a tough assignment.
Got that right. Just a cut fastball right to the outside corner. It's just an impossible pitch to hit. You just hope that the umpire calls it a ball, and he can't because it's a strike.
So now Chris Young. One and 0 the count. Slider, 1 ball and 1 strike the count. I remember I shared a story with you folks in San Diego about Mike Adams saying, and I quote, "I started to feel like I was bigger than the game when I was in Milwaukee. I made a huge mistake. Injuries haunted him. He missed a good portion of the 07 season with knee problems. As that one is swung right through, and he vowed if he ever got a chance, he would not take 1 single second for granted. Since rededicating himself and realizing the game is much larger than him, he has been one of the largest with regard to success pitchers in this game. But like Ryan Roberts, he hit rock bottom, like Roberts did last year. He's been really good. Bouncing ball off the glove, but right now, Chris Young on the move. Hustling on around into second with a double. A 2-bagger for Chris Young.
$11 doubles now for Chris Young, who just swiped it by Chase Headley, who gave it a great effort. But the Diamondbacks trying to extend this game a little bit longer. Just a little slider right there. Doesn't do much, and Young just pounds it past a diving Chase Headley for 2 bases.
Melvin Mora, we saw earlier, with a fine at bat. He picked up an RBI as he kind of felt like Arizona had a chance. He's trying to again make them feel like they kind of have a chance, but it was a great approach that you pointed out. And Mora drove in a run back in the 5th.
Nice job of doing what you're supposed to do. Take some pitches when you're down, getting a good hitter's count. Now, you're only swinging the bat if you get 1 pitch in the spot you're looking and at the speed you're looking. Otherwise, take it and let it pass. He took it, strike 1.
That one is nubbed foul off the end of the bat. And so we'll do it again. Adams signed as a free agent out of Texas A&M Kingsville, undrafted by the Milwaukee Brewers. Two and two the count. Had him out front with a slider. And that one is put away. So Adams, one out away. Don't forget to keep it right here for our post-game show. Quest Diamondbacks live immediately following our commercial break. Here's Justin Upton. That pitch dives down and away. Upton with a long ball back in the 8th inning. Swing and a miss at a slider. One ball, one strike the count. Good Buddy Young is in scoring position. Fastball is low. Boy, heavy but low. 2-1. Played college basketball as well at Texas A&M Kingsville. He's a big fella, 6'5", about 190. Low, 3-1 the count. There's been a walk, a single, a strikeout, and that homer. For the Diamondbacks right fielder. Bouncing ball, snagged out there at third by Headley. Long throw, and he's off the bag. He is off the bag. And this game goes on.
Wow. I think Angel may have missed this call. It looked like Hawk made the play. And it looked like the foot was still on the bag. It was an awkward pick. But that foot is, yeah, it's still on the bag. Well, Headley will get an error there. It's unwarranted because the Diamondbacks got a huge break. Now Stephen Drew going to keep the line moving.
So Adams now with an 8-4 score. Bell is warming in that pen. Do they use him here? It's a safe situation. Remember, it was Headley who had the miscue throwing the ball away in San Diego that halted Heath Bell's save streak. Game eventually won by San Diego. Upton will take a base. A slider is a strike. Big fella out of Oceanside's ready. And it is a save situation. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Over the top of a slider, Stephen Drew is done, and the Diamondbacks are as well. 8-4 is the final score. A very, very tough night for Armando Galarraga. That will be addressed in our post-game show. Some of the bounce-back ability of these Diamondbacks, just not enough really, and too big of a hole to climb out of. We'll also talk about the positives for the San Diego Padres. There were many, as this club continues to crush the baseball. It's our post-game show. It's Quest Diamondbacks Live. Jody Jackson, Joe Borowski will host it. We'll be honored to join them as well. And it starts immediately after this commercial break, so keep it right here. The Padres winning.